Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 4. Hum out for 8. Hold 4. Inhale. Hold 4. Hum it out, 8. Hold your breath, 4 seconds. Fill up. Hold. Hum, 8. Pause, 4. Inhale, 6. Pause at the top, 2, 1. Hum out for 8. Hold 4. Inhale, 6. Pause, 2. Hum, 8. Hold 4. Fill up. Hold. Hum. Hold your breath. Fill up. Pause. Hum to release. Hold your breath, 4. Inhale, 4. Breathe out through the nose like you're trying to fog up a mirror. Coming from the back of the throat, should sound like Darth Vader breathing in your ear. Pause for 4. Inhale, 4. Ocean breath out for 4, fogging up that mirror. Pause, 4. Breathe in. Ocean breath. Hold, 4. Breathe in. Ocean breath, release. And pause. Come to all fours. Hands are going to be right underneath the shoulders, knees right underneath the hips, and then we're going to turn our fingers out to the sides. So from here, you'll do a gentle rock side to side, opening up throughout the forearm. And you can start really gentle, and then as it feels better, you can start to bring the hands closer to one another so you get a little bit more into that flexion. Relax the shoulders so they're not drawing up next to your ears. And then turn the fingers so they're pointing down towards your knees. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, sit back towards hips towards heels without the wrists lifting off the ground. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, sit back. And really working to get those fingertips facing the knees as much as possible. And if this is too intense on your wrist, you can use the blocks. So blocks come here, and you'll prop yourself up here and then do it. Does that feel better?
Probably because I had carpal tunnel surgery.
Yeah, that could definitely be it. So with that prop up, it lets the fingers drop off the sides, and then you get more into the wrist as opposed to that flat hand,
Yeah.
which can be a little uncomfortable with that. Okay, come to neutral spine, fingertips pointing forward. And we're going to start tucking the tailbone underneath, working your way one vertebra at a time up the spine. So feel the hips tuck under, work your way through that low back, mid back presses up towards the sky, pressing the hands into the floor to round out the upper back. Last thing that happens is the head drops. And you can add a little nod of the head, yes, a shake of the head, no, if you like. And then one vertebra at a time. Lifting that tailbone, the head is still tucked. Working your way through that low back, the belly button starts to drop down towards the ground. The rib cage starts to flare open to get into mid back. And then shoulder blades draw together and down the spine before you look up towards the sky. And you'll keep going like that, one vertebra at a time. The slower you go, the better. We're here for 2 minutes. Don't forget, if you want to add that nod or head shake, you can, but you don't have to. Whatever feels good for the body today. Today's a stretch day. It's a lot different than last week. Last week was just pure torture. This week I'm being nice, making up for it. Of course, Justin missed last week, so.
Last week before that was torture too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So.
He's like, so I didn't miss anything. We're good. Come to neutral spine. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, look back over your left shoulder for your left hip. So you're going to drop your hip to the left, look over the shoulder, spot it. Inhale back to center. Exhale, other direction. To the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Then grab that lacrosse ball. I ended up adding this first class and we loved it so much we're going to do it here. So you're going to bring your hand on top of that lacrosse ball and start to work around in a circle. And you can control how much weight you put in this. So you can back it off and bring the weight into the left hand, or if you want to bring more pressure into that ball, it's going to break up any scar tissue. Or think about like how often we hold our hand clutched around a wheel or a pen, and now we're just kind of breaking up that holding position that the muscle gets into. And then take the circle the other direction. come onto that thumb. So right where the thumb kind of lifts up away from the hand, that's where I want the ball to hang out. So right on the inside of that crook, going forward and back. And then working your way towards that pointer finger. So just like when we do take 5 and I have you trace your thumb and then your pointer finger and up, we're doing the same thing with the ball, but we're just getting into the joint area. So we're not going all the way to the finger. So up to the joint and then back down. And you'll do a couple times on each digit, like 3 to 4. I guess it's a few times, not a couple. And again, you can control how much weight you put into each of these. And then go across the palm, so right at the base of each joint, side to side. If you find that you're clenching your teeth right now, check in with that. I wasn't doing that at all. Okay, then the hand comes to the ground. Take your ball in your left hand and rinse out the top of the hand. So working your way from the base out each digit, across, whatever feels good. And then we'll go to the other side. So ball underneath the left hand, getting some circles in. Take those circles the other direction. And then you're working your way from the palm down towards each digit, getting into the joint. Few times each digit. Beautiful. Really good, guys. Then going across, side to side. Good. Take that ball in your right hand, rinse out the top. Going across each digit. You can place that ball to the side. Coming onto all fours once again. Inhale, pull that left elbow up towards the sky, bringing the hand up towards the armpit, and then start to unravel the hand up towards the sky. Slowly curling back down to the armpit, and then to the floor. Switching sides, pulling the right elbow up, like you're drawing a bow and arrow. Unravel the fingertips up towards the sky, and back down to the armpit and the floor. As you're doing this, going side to side, switching sides each time, if you find that when you go to extend your arm, you're getting a clicking or pain in the shoulder, don't extend the arm. Just focus on the drop of the elbow, opening the chest up towards that side of the room, inhaling, coming back down. So as you do this, you're pushing through that bottom arm to open the chest a little bit more. Inhale, take your left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, reach it between the right hand, right knee. Inhale, open up towards the left side of the room. Exhale, reach between. Last time in. Exhale, sweep it between the right hand, right knee, setting the back of the arm on the ground, pushing that arm into the ground, reach the right arm forward, and then sit back, hips over heels. If you need to, you can use a block here. There's a reason we brought blocks today to rest the head onto. Or if you can get the head to the ground, you can do that as well. But really actively pushing the back of the left arm into the floor. Breathing in between the shoulder blades. Bring that right hand back in front of that elbow of the left arm. Push into the hand, come back to neutral. Inhale the right arm up. Exhale, reach it through between the left hand, left knee. Inhale, lift up towards the right side of the room. Exhale, reach through. On this one, actively pushing into that left hand to open up the chest a little bit more. And then exhale, reach all the way across. Back of the arm presses into the ground. Left arm reaches forward. Sink back with the hips, relax the head to the floor or to a block. Breathe in between those shoulder blades. Big full breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. Left arm comes back in front of that right elbow. Press up through to come back to all fours. Tuck your toes underneath, step back into plank. Left foot comes to the outside of the left hand. From here, we're gonna sink our right knee down. And then you can either soft bend through the elbows, getting closer to the ground. Maybe you bring one elbow to the ground. Maybe you get both elbows to the ground. Or you use your props and you bring those blocks to whatever level you need them to. So, whatever feels good for you. Sinking down towards the ground. You should be at 60 to 70% effort in this stretch. So, if you're coming down and you're like, ooh, yeah, this is a deep stretch, you've probably gone too far. Or if you feel like you're catching your breath or your breath is changing, you've probably pushed yourself a little bit too far. Back it off. If you take yourself past 60 to 70% effort in a stretch, you're not actually allowing the muscle fiber length to change. You're pushing it past its breaking point. And so that's the time when we lead ourselves to injury. We're more prone, susceptible to pulling something. Relax those shoulders. And when you're ready, you can come up to the hands, walk them over to the right side of your mat, drop the hips over to the left. Bring the hands back to the center. Extend that right leg. So tuck the toes underneath, lift the knee off the ground. Inhale the left arm up towards the sky, turning your chest towards that left knee. Exhale, reach it between the left knee, right arm. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, under. Last time, inhale up. Exhale, reach. Both hands down. Step back into plank. Bring that right hand to the outside of the right foot. Again, from here, maybe stay on the hands. Maybe you just gently bend the elbows. Maybe one elbow comes down. Maybe both come down. Maybe you prop yourself up using blocks. Whatever feels 60 to 70% effort. Back knee can come down to the ground. And we're just opening up that hip. Just feel a nice hip flexor stretch on that left leg. Big full breaths into the upper back. If you're catching your breath, remember you've probably gone a little bit too far. Whichever level you chose, walk yourself back up to your hands. Bring the hands over to the left side of the mat. Drop the hips to the right. Should get this nice stretch throughout that right lat, side of the body, pulling the fingertips away from the hips. Walk the hands back to center. Inhale the right arm up, extend that back leg so the knee comes off the ground. Exhale, reach the right hand between the left arm, right knee. Inhale, lift up, pressing into that left arm to rotate. Exhale, reach. Breathe in. And breathe out, reach under. Both hands down. Both feet step back into plank. Take a full breath in and shift forward to your toes. Exhale, lift the hips and then press back through the heels for downward dog. Thinking about heels pressing down, chest driving towards the inner thighs, pushing the weight between that thumb and pointer finger, spreading the fingers, and then bend one knee at a time to pedal out the legs. Both heels press down. Big full breath in. As you exhale, knees come down to the mat, sit back, hips over heels. Actively pulling the fingertips away from the hips to create length in the spine. Shift the body weight forward, and we're going to start to walk our knees away from each other. So the idea here is I want 90-degree bend in the ankles, in the knees, and in the hips. And we're going to start to sink our upper body down towards the mat. Again, you could use a block to prop yourself up if that's too much, or you could use that block for your forehead to relax, because we're here for 2 minutes. As you hang out here, you might find that you can get deeper into that stretch. So if you're starting to feel like, oh, things are relaxing, I can get a little bit further, walk your knees out further. But they should be 90 degrees in the hips, so pull your knees up closer to your, yes, good. And then Suzette, bring your hips forward a little bit more. Yep, good. Beautiful. We're here for 2 minutes. Get comfortable. If you find that the ground is just really hard and achy on those knees, you can always roll up the ends of your mat to give you a little extra cushion. Everyone take a deep breath in. As you exhale, draw those inner thighs towards one another, pressing the knees into the ground. You'll feel the glutes activate. You'll feel the inner thighs activate. And then as you inhale, relax. See if you can get a little bit deeper into the stretch. We'll do that one more time. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, draw the inner thighs down towards the mat by pushing those knees inward towards one another. Exhale, let yourself sink down more. Mary, pull those knees up closer to your hips. There you go. Good. Suzette, bring your hips forward again.
Oh.
When we come out of this, not yet, but when we come out of this, we're going to bring ourselves forward. So coming chest towards the floor. Ready? So come to your elbows, bring your chest towards the floor, walk those feet towards one another. And then you can gently relax your forehead to the hands, take the hips side to side. Okay, hands right underneath the shoulders. Tuck the toes underneath. Lift up into downward dog. As you lift, I want you to think about rib cage tucking in, pelvic bones lifting up, and from here, squeeze your glutes, lift up in a straight line, press back, downward dog. We're going to walk our feet towards our hands. And once you get there, hang out there. So if you cannot reach your hands to the ground, another great opportunity to use that yoga block. So hands on the block, whatever level you need. Opposite hand comes to opposite elbow, gently rock side to side. Inhale to a flat back, hands coming to the shins and actively pressing into those shins to create some length in the spine. Exhale down to the floor, and then either use those blocks if you can't touch the ground, or step back with your left foot. I mean, either way, you're stepping back with your left foot, whether you use the blocks or not. So left foot is back. From here, we're going to sink that left knee down, and then your hands can either come to your knee or up into cactus. So drawing those elbows back, opening up the chest. I don't want the hands up here because that automatically raises the shoulders up towards the ear, which puts you in fight or flight mode. So if you do feel good balance-wise, here. And then if you'd like to challenge yourself, lift that back knee. Hands come down, step back into plank. Sink those hips down to the ground, and then bring the elbows right underneath the shoulders, looking forward. Take a full breath in. As you exhale, look over your right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale over the left shoulder. And if you'd like to add on to this, inhale back to center. Exhale, push into the right hand, extending that right elbow off the ground as you look over your right shoulder. Or push into the left hand, look over that left shoulder as you extend that elbow off the ground. Side to side. Great pose for digestion. Come back down to the ground. Rest your forehead to your right hand, bend your left knee, and grab onto the front of the foot. Everyone take a big breath in. As you exhale, push the foot into the hand, creating tension in the front of the quad. Inhale, relax, and see if you can bring that foot a little bit closer to the glutes. Relax here. Again, 60 to 70% effort on that stretch. Take a full breath in. Exhale, push the foot into the hand, resist with that hand. As you inhale and relax, see if you can bring that foot in a little bit closer. And relax. We'll switch sides. Left hand coming underneath that forehead. Right knee bends. Grab onto the front of the foot. Pulling the foot in towards the hips. Hang out here for a little bit. On your next inhale, push the foot into the hand. Exhale, pull that foot in closer to the hip if you can. Inhale, drive away. Exhale, relax, bring that foot in a little bit closer. And relax it down. Hands come underneath the shoulders. Again, pull the rib cage down, pull the hip bone up, tuck so your glutes turn on, lift up to your knees or your toes, and then you're going to step that right foot forward, sink the left knee down, and come up either with the hands on the knees or hands to cactus. Again, if you want to challenge yourself, you can lift that back knee. You should feel this hip flexor opening up. Both hands come down to the ground, step back to plank, and sink to your right hip. We'll go into hip cars here. So this left knee is going to draw up towards the chest, lift up towards the sky, then continue to lift that left foot higher than the left knee as you press back behind you with the knee, all the way around like you're tracing a big circle until your knees stack. Once you get there, you take the knee back behind you, lift up, that foot starts to swing through so that the knee can come up towards the shoulder, chest, down, and around. Do that again, drawing the knee up towards the chest, lifting the whole leg complex. Let that foot lift higher than the knee. As you do this, make sure you're just getting into the knee joint so you shouldn't feel the back extending or flexing. And then press that knee behind you, trace that circle, complete it till the knees stack one on top of the other once again, and then take it back behind you, lift up, knee to shoulder, knee to chest, down and around. Beautiful. Keep going on your own. Really working for maximum range of motion from the hip joint. Not from the back, not from the spine, just from the hip joint. But take your time. Like if you find a sticky spot, maybe you pause there, and see what you can do to help assist yourself, as long as it's not painful. If you find a spot where you're like, oh, there's a pinching on that closing joint angle, don't push through that. Make note of it and let me know so I can tell you what you should steer clear of, especially for the rest of class. After this last one, when your leg comes forward, you're going to extend the leg, foot is flexed, it's out in front of you, and then you're going to open the chest up towards the sky. So from here, the more you can flex your foot and pull the toes towards your shin, the more you'll feel the back of the leg turn on. And then as you look back over your left shoulder for your left fingertips, you'll feel that chest open up, breathing into the upper back and the belly, rib cage expanding east and west. You'll feel a nice stretch throughout the back. If you want to get a little bit deeper, you can walk that left foot up a little bit higher. If that's uncomfortable, take it back down. Again, we're looking for 60 to 70% effort in that stretch. Not 100% effort, not 90% effort. That's not going to help you. As you start to sink into the stretch a little bit more, maybe you can walk that foot up higher. When you're ready, slowly bring that leg down, come onto your stomach, and level 1 is going to be right arm up to a diagonal, and you'll just tuck both knees into the left. Level 2 is going to be old man stretch. So right arm straight out to the side, bend that left knee, lift up and over. So finding whatever works best for you today, where you're feeling that armpit region into the chest open up. And then you can use your left hand to gently push into the ground to create a little extra stretch. This is a great place to use your block under your head if you can't get that head to relax to the floor. If that feels good and you want to get even deeper, you can bend both knees as if you were going into bridge. Again, if that's too much, just back yourself off a level. Big full breaths. If you find yourself catching your breath, take yourself back a level. Then let's actively pull the left fingertips away from the right fingertips to create space in the upper back. When we come out of this, I want you to go slowly. So start to pull that elbow in towards you again on that left arm. If you came to both knees bent, we're going to straighten out the right leg. Start to let that left knee come back towards the ground. Slow, 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 slow. Oh, don't you feel like an old man? Feels so good. All right, from here, we're just gonna turn onto our left hip to do hip cars on the other side. So knee draws into the chest, lift up. That foot lifts higher than the knee as you press back behind you all the way around in a circle. And then once you complete that circle so that both knees are stacked, you can take it back behind you. Lift that knee up higher than the foot. It draws up towards the shoulder, towards the chest, down and around. Beautiful. These are going to be really good for you. Like the whole pregnancy. We do have a pelvic floor workshop coming up. It's November 16th from 6 to 7:30. We have at least 2, but it sounds like maybe even 4 pelvic floor specialists coming in to talk about nutrition and pelvic floor health, to talk about breathing and pelvic floor health, to talk about stretching and exercises with pelvic floor health. And guess what? You all have a pelvic floor. All of you. Even Justin. And your kids have pelvic floors. So this is available for all ages, all male, female, everyone is invited to this. It's going to be really great information. The 2 individuals who are for sure coming in to talk are just incredible human beings, very knowledgeable, who have been doing a lot of research and who are pretty high up in their fields. So it's a donation-based event. All donations are going to an organization in Brazil that helps free sex slaves and then re-educate them and find them other jobs outside of that workforce. So, good opportunity to come in, learn about pelvic floor health, and support a great organization. And that's again November 16th, 6 to 7:30 p.m. Okay, on this next one, you're going to extend that leg out in front of you, flex the foot, and then open the right arm out to the side, chest towards the sky, big full breaths. The more you can pull the toes towards your shin, the more you'll feel the back of the leg turn on. Looking back over that right shoulder for your right fingertips. And then if you want to get deeper into the stretch, walk that foot up a little bit. Okay, bend that knee. Come onto your stomach. So this is where your left arm can come up to a diagonal and you can bend both knees over to the right. Or if you want to go to old man stretch, arm comes straight out to the side like half a T. And then bend your right knee, bring it up and over. Using that right hand to push you a little bit deeper into that stretch, opening the chest more. Yeah, up to big. You can either stay here, or if you want to get deeper, bend both knees. Relax the head. Use that yoga block for your head if you need it. No, you're good. Bye, Suzette.
Take care.
If you did bend both knees, extend that left leg. If not, bring your right knee back to center. Slowly, slowly, slowly coming out of this. And then when you're ready, you can sit back and we'll have a seat on our block. So you can sit just crisscross applesauce, or you can come to kneeling. I like kneeling personally because then it stretches out the fronts of the feet. But if you're like, they're feeling good, don't worry about it. Go crisscross applesauce. We're going to look down, chin to chest. Look over at your left shoulder, left ear, left shoulder. Up towards the sky. Right ear, right shoulder. Look down at that shoulder. Complete the circle. And then do it again. Looking over at the left shoulder, left ear, left shoulder. Up, open towards the sky. Right ear, right shoulder. Look down at the shoulder. Complete the circle. One more round in that direction. And just a reminder, if you feel any pain or pinching on the closing joint angle, so not the opening, but the closing, don't push through it. Change directions, looking over at the right shoulder, right ear, right shoulder, up towards the sky, left ear, left shoulder, look down at the shoulder, complete the circle. So you don't go through that pain, you work around it. Just work with the range that you have available to you today. And every day is going to be a little bit different. After your third one, you can bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Right hand is going to reach away, and that left arm is going to reach up and over to rest on top of the head. I said rest, you're not pulling. So you want to think about this arm assisting gravity with its weight. So we're not drawing down, we're just letting it rest on top. Right arm pushes away, which is why I have you sitting on a block so you have a little more space to do this. Big full breaths. And then gently release the top arm, unravel that top arm. Look down at the belly button, roll over to the other side. This right arm lifts up and over, left arm pushes away, right hand gently on top, it's not pulling down. Then unravel that arm slowly, roll down to the center, up to the middle. Our last breathing pose, we're going to have our blocks stacked. So this one is going to run along between the shoulder blades. So I want it down on the ground like this. This one is going to sit on the occipital region on the skull. Kelsey, you're going to sit up tall and you can stay on the block, or you can just sit crisscross applesauce and focus on same breath work that we'll do. So hips on the ground, sitting back with that block between the shoulder blades. You're starting with your knees bent. And if that feels good, stay there, or if you'd like to, you can extend one knee at a time. Close your eyes, let the palms open up towards the sky, hands relaxing wherever they fall. Breathing into the rib cage and the diaphragm, not into the chest. We'll take a deep breath in through our nose for a count of 5. Ocean breath out for 7 through the nose like you're fogging up a mirror. Inhale 5. Ocean breath out 7. Breathe in. Ocean breath release. do that 2 more times. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the nose from the back of the throat like you're fogging up a mirror. Fill up. Ocean breath out. You can stay here for as long as you like, but if you were ready to come out, or when you're ready to come out, bend one knee at a time. Right hand comes behind the head to support it. You're gonna look down towards your rib cage or belly button to tuck. Start to pull the rib cage down, and then lean over to that left elbow to roll yourself off and up. You guys are done. Happy stretch day. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
This is great.
I am going to be uploading that class online.